within all of the Indian spiritual traditions, name and form, nama rupa, is an important philosophical teaching because it is the measurement of name and form that dissects the world up into this and that, good and evil, bondage and liberation, that person and that thing, and so forth and so on, right? This is Maya, the illusion of measurement. Now, the illusion of measurement comes back to our conditioning, how the jiva has been conditioned to see the world according to whatever society or culture it's brought up in. And then you have your likes and your dislikes and so forth and so on. But an important aspect of the jiva and of how Maya operates in general is name and form. So we are taught to label the forms that we see, and this creates a linguistic framework that a lot of people find difficult to escape. If they find it hard to see reality without name and form, and to experience the formless oneness of Brahman that we actually all are experiencing, but we've all been conditioned to see the world as this or that according to the labels that we have assigned to certain forms and experiences and so forth and so on that we are experiencing through this life. And so when we think about Maya, Maya is this superimposition on reality with the name, the form, according to our conditioning, our language, and so forth and so on. And then we find it hard to kind of escape that and understand the world without the linguistic framework and understand it without our conditioning. But what happens if we peel all those layers away and just see it as it truly is? Think about this, to use the wave and the ocean analogy again. The wave has a particular form, right? And we can call it a wave. But is it separate from the ocean itself? And obviously no. And so we need to kind of think about that when we think about reality. We're naming, we're labeling, and this and that according to what we see. But these forms and the reality we see are part of the great ocean of Brahman. And we are kind of labeling temporary phenomenon according to the linguistic framework we've been taught and the conditioning we've undergone, which then builds this Maya illusion for us, and then we can't really see the nature of Brahman itself. So as Shankara mentioned, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Brahman alone is real, the universe is an illusion, but the universe is Brahman, is what this is getting at. It means that the world is an appearance, but Brahman alone exists, right? And so the universe is real as Brahman, but it's not real through the matrix of name and form. When we start naming and labeling things and we believe in that, we believe in the conceptual framework, we believe in the linguistic framework we've been taught, we believe in our conditioning, then we believe in this Maya illusion and we don't realize that Brahman alone exists. A sage that has attained samadhi can see through name and form. Actually, name and form disappears, and then they actually truly experience the oneness of Brahman itself. And that's the goal for all of us spiritual aspirants of the path, to see the world as it truly is. And the world as it truly is Brahman alone is real. So the oneness of reality is real, but we've bought into this conceptual framework of name and form, which eclipse that. And then we believe in the name and the form, the birth and the death, good and evil, right and wrong, bondage and liberation. You are ever free, as the Yavaduta Gita is constantly reinforcing into our mind. You are ever free. You are born ever free, but you bought into this accumulative sense of self that became the jiva, which is all of the conditioning that you've endured through your life, and you see the world that way. You see the world through this linguistic framework, and then you think the world is this or that, and you suffer accordingly. But suffering doesn't exist from the ultimate state. And so Dattatreya is compelling us to thin the layers of the name and form away, to realize that birth and death only relate to the body, good and evil, bondage and liberation only relate to the mind. And so if the mind and the body are just the wave, why are we identifying with the wave when we are the ocean of Brahman itself? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.